Hello everyone, myself Meenal Gupta. I am from Department of Innovation Engineering, University of Salento, Italy. Let's start the second part of my presentation on the topic hydrogen's potential in a clean, secure and affordable energy for sustainable future. In the first part, we have seen the scenario of hydrogen nowadays. And in this second part, we are going to focus on that what is the hydrogen production scenario, and as well as we will see few of the existing hydrogen production methods in terms of their advantages and disadvantages and existing technology. So let's see this hydrogen production scenario. What is the scenario nowadays? So most of the hydrogen it is going to produce using fossil fuels. This already I have discussed that using fossil fuels to produce the hydrogen is not a environment friendly technique because it attributes lots of this greenhouse gas emission, and the 60% of the hydrogen which is produced today, it is produced in dedicated hydrogen production. It means the primary product which is produced is the hydrogen, and out of this 60%, the hydrogen is produced using natural gases, and most few of the hydrogen, very small hydrogen, it is also produced using fuel, and very small portion of the hydrogen it is produced using water electrolysis. So we can see that out of the 60% hydrogen, most of the hydrogen is produced with the technology which is not environment friendly. And one third of the this global supply of hydrogen is as a byproduct. Means hydrogen is produced in those processes where the main product is something else, and with that the hydrogen is also produced as byproduct, and therefore before the use of this byproduct hydrogen, it need to be dehydrated, and before its use it should be cleaned properly. Also, this nowadays only 0.7% of the hydrogen production is the, we can say, clean hydrogen production, which is coming either from these renewables, or if it is produced with fossil fuels, it is equipped with CCUS technology, where the emitted carbon dioxide it is captured, and it can be stored. It is stored and it can be used further. So still, because of the 60% production using these natural gases, the nowadays this hydrogen production, it is responsible of 830 megaton production of carbon dioxide every year. Let's see, hydrogen is a energy source, or is it a this chemical energy carrier? So yes, hydrogen is it is a energy carrier. It is not the energy source, and due to having due to like energy carrier, it has a lots of potential similar to the electricity, and either we are taking electricity or hydrogen, if we are using them. So in use of them, there is no greenhouse production, and especially the sulfur oxides or this ground level ozones, they are not produced in use of either hydrogen or electricity. And if hydrogen is used in fuel cell, it emits only water. And this hydrogen and electricity, they both can emit this carbon dioxide if they are produced with fossil fuels, like natural gas or coal, oil. So, if we are producing the hydrogen or electricity with the fossil fuels, then there will be this emission of greenhouse gases, and to overcome this advantage, this hydrogen production must be with the renewables or maybe nuclear energy. Or if it is with this fossil fuels, then this technology must be embedded with CCUS technology. So we can say that the main difference between hydrogen and electricity is like hydrogen is this energy carrier, chemical energy carrier, and it is composed of molecules, not only the electrons. So, because this hydrogen is a chemical energy carrier, so due to having this chemical energy, it is really attractive, because chemical energy can be stored and it can be transported in a very stable way. As like this biomass or this natural gas, so they are being stored and transported. Similarly, this hydrogen can also be stored and transported for different purposes. And this hydrogen molecules, they can also be stored for long periods. And this, due to the molecular nature, this hydrogen can be combined with different kind of elements like carbon or nitrogen. So if it is combined with such different elements, then the product is called hydrogen based fuels. And these fuels can be used as feedstock in different industries. And using these feedstock, the emission of this carbon dioxide can be reduced. And hydrogen, and if it is used in different energy sectors, then it can increase the efficiency. So with the reduction of greenhouse gases, even it is able to enhance the efficiency of the product. For example, we can say that if a hydrogen based fuel cell is used in vehicle, then its efficiency is 60%. Although if a gasoline internal combustion engine is used, its efficiency is only 20%. And modern this coal-fired power plant, their efficiency is 45%. And because this electricity power lines losses occurs, and which decreases the efficiency up to 10%. So we can say that with hydrogen, the technology can be more efficient. Let's see what is the difference between hydrogen and hydrogen based fuels, which is also called feedstock. So if hydrogen is used in pure form, it behaves as chemical energy carrier, and which can be used as a raw material in different industries. And if it is combined with different elements or different products, then it is referred as this hydrogen based fuels or feedstock. And for producing the hydrogen based fuels or feedstocks, hydrogen need to be mixed with any of the source like electricity, biomass, or fossil fuels. And after mixing with these sources, the produced feedstocks, they can be used in different applications, like in a transport sector, in buildings, in different industries. The use of these feedstock is have great potential for their utilization in different energy sectors. In this table, the intrinsic properties of hydrogen is discussed and compared with other conventional fuels. So the density of hydrogen, either in gaseous or liquid phase form, it is really less. In liquid phase, it is just 1/6 of the density of natural gas, and energy density of hydrogen is one third of the energy density of natural gas, and therefore this is specific energy also. It is one third of natural gas, and this, however, flame velocity of hydrogen is really very high. It is 8 times of the methane, and that's why it's this ignition energy is very very low, which is 1/10 of the methane, and its ignition range is very high. It is around 6 times of the ignition range for methane. So, with this, it is important to see the health and safety considerations of hydrogen. So, hydrogen itself, it is a non-toxic gas, but as seen in the last slide, this hydrogen is really flammable. So, it has a broad ignition range, and its ignition energy is really very low due to high flammability. So that's why there is a need to take care before using and its production. Hydrogen also, it can be mitigated because of its buoyancy and diffusivity. There is great chances that it can dissipate very quickly. Hydrogen, its flame is not visible with the naked eyes, and also it is colorless and odorless. So whenever there is hydrogen fires or its leakage is there, it is very difficult to detect it. And these hydrogen molecules are very small molecules. Therefore, to handle the hydrogen, there is a need to use specific equipment and specific procedures to handle it. Hydrogen, because of this very small molecules, it can also diffuse into the materials like iron and steel pipes, and that's why there is a chance to escape very easily, and it can also escape from ceilings and connectors, which is little difficult for the natural gas because of having larger molecules. In this slide, I'm showing you the different hydrogen production methods based on used technology or different precursors. So, in a broad way, the hydrogen production methods can be divided into category: fossil fuels and renewable sources. So, depending on the different technology, this fossil fuels again can be divided in two type of technologies: hydrocarbon reforming and hydrocarbon pyrolysis. And another is hydrocarbon reforming, can be done with three processes: steam reforming process, partial oxidation process, or autothermal reforming process. However, this hydrogen can be produced with renewable sources with two of the processes, either biomass process or water splitting process. And depending on different technology, this biomass process can be categorized either as a biological process or this is thermochemical process. And with help of another technology, lots of progress is going on in the production of hydrogen for removing the existing challenges. So this biological and this thermochemical processes again can be categorized with many other techniques. And this water splitting, if it is done with thermal energy or maybe solar energy or electricity, so accordingly it can be divided in thermolysis process or photolysis and electrolysis process. And this electrolysis nowadays it can be done with three kind of cells. This either alkaline electrolysis or solid oxide electrolysis or polymer exchange membrane electrolysis. So let's see a few of the hydrogen production methods which are widely used and able to produce hydrogen at a large scale. We are going to see in terms of their technological aspects, advantages, and shortcomings. So one of the important method is the coal gasification, and using coal gasification, the produced hydrogen is termed as brown hydrogen, as I mentioned in the part one, and it also produces syngas. And this coal gasification, it is we can say it is a mainstream hydrogen production technique which is used from 19th century, and this technology is in this chemical and fertilizer industries. Those who are producing this ammonia, so they are using this coal gasification to produce the hydrogen. And such this coal gasification plants, lots of around 130 such plants are operational nowadays around the world, out of which around 80% are itself in China. And as I told, this coal gasification is not the environment friendly technique, because it involves lots of heating at very high temperature, and it due to which this carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, natural gases, and water vapors. So they are also released with hydrogen. So we can say that the shortcoming of this coal gasification technique is that it is not environment friendly technique, and here the this carbon dioxide emission is almost twice with respect to the method in which hydrogen is produced using natural gas. Let's see the principle of coal gasification. So here this coal is reacted with oxygen and steam at very high temperature and pressure, where it produces hydrogen with carbon monoxide as byproduct. And a part of this carbon monoxide, there are many other byproducts forms, although they are in a small quantity, but nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, hydrochloric acid, and tar, different these hydrocarbons. So lots of these products, byproducts are also produces. Therefore, we have to work for increasing the hydrogen yield in this process, and which requires this water gas shift reaction. And for removal of this sulfur element or sulfuric acid, the product need to be washed out carefully. The temperature range, because this process require high temperature, so required range is around 650 to 1480 degrees centigrade, and the pressure required is around 15 to 1200 pounds per square inch. And nowadays, around 80% of the hydrogen which is produced with this coal gasification technique. This coal gasification technique, because of producing these greenhouses, it is not environment friendly, and that's why there is a need to use the CCUS technology, carbon capture, use and storage technology, with coal gasification, so that if there will be chances to use this technology in future also. And if it is able to done, then 90% of the carbon dioxide can be captured, and it can be transported with the pipelines, and even it can be used for further applications, like this captured carbon dioxide. It can be used in producing chemicals like methane, or even it can be utilized in greenhouses for growing the plants. So if the CCUS technology can be inbuilt with coal gasification, it will be a real help for the environment. But There is a challenge in building the CCUS technology with coal gasification because in this process, the production of hydrogen carbon ratio is really low. It is just 0.1 to 1. The ratio is just 0.1 is to 1. However, if hydrogen is produced with methane, then the hydrogen carbon ratio is 4 is to 1. So, because of very less amount of production of hydrogen, we can say that in this the lots of impurities are there in the in the product, and it limits the use of CCUS technology also. Let's see the production of hydrogen with natural gas. So at present, there are three main streams using which this hydrogen is produced with natural gas, steam reforming, autothermal reforming, and methane splitting. So let's see one by one. In this steam methane reforming, this technique is really widespread technique where this hydrogen is produced at a large scale with natural gas. And this process occurs in two stages. In the first stage, this natural gas is mixed with steam and it is fed into the tubular catalytic reactor. Where after reaction, this hydrogen and carbon monoxide is formed. And in the second stage, before feeding this produced output, it requires to cool down. And once output is cooled, this hydrogen and carbon monoxide got cooled, then this gas is fed into catalytic converter, where this carbon monoxide is converted into carbon dioxide, and hydrogen is stored or collected. So we can say that this hydrogen production using steam reforming process, if it is produced without CCUS technique, then it is termed as red or gray hydrogen. But nowadays, this SMR technique is really economically friendly technique, and it is able to produce hydrogen at large scale. And in this technique, it is easy to inbuild this CCUS technology also. And if it is inbuilt, then the produced hydrogen is termed as blue hydrogen. So after using this carbon capture, its use and storage technology in steam reforming process, around 90% of the carbon produced carbon can be stored, and it can be the technology will be more environment friendly. So we can say that this lots of this steam methane reforming plants with CCUS technology, they are operational today, and they are responsible for this 0.5 megaton of hydrogen production every year. So this is a we can say with this that SMR is a widely used technique for the hydrogen production nowadays. Let's see the another one, which is autothermal reforming process. So this is also gaining a lot of attention nowadays because this technology have higher efficiency, and here it is more easy to embed this CCUS technology rather than methane reforming technique. And this autothermal reforming technology, it combines all the features similar to this steam methane reforming with partial oxidation system. And also in this ATR, this external this heat system is not required, or we can say that direct heat exchanger is not required, and that's why its efficiency is really high. But in this process, because there is a need of pure oxygen, which increases its operational cost, but this can be reduced if the heat which is generated in the partial oxidation, if that is used for the steam reforming reaction, then the cost can be minimized. And in this process, the good thing is that the produced carbon dioxide, it remains inside the reactor only, and that's why it is easy to capture the carbon dioxide, because it is at its only exist at a single point. So if this hydrogen is produced using ATR with the CCUS technique, then it is termed as blue hydrogen. So, but still, this nowadays this steam methane reforming is the dominant technology, because of its low production cost, as well as this large scale hydrogen production, and therefore lots of these SMR plants are operating nowadays. Let's see the third type of process, which is methane splitting process, which is used for production of hydrogen using natural gas. So this is a new potential way for producing hydrogen. In this technique, the main technology is alternating current three-phase plasma, which is used to produce the hydrogen. So this in this technique, this methane is used as a feedstock, and energy source is electricity. So and here this hydrogen and as well as solid carbon is produced. So this technique is really important, because there is no emission of carbon dioxide, because all the this carbon is produced in form of it in its solid form. So this is one of the big advantage of this technique. Let's see the other advantage and as well as disadvantages. So this technique, because it requires this methane splitting via high temperature plasma. So because of use of high temperature plasma, there is chances of losses of thermal energy, due to which its efficiency decreases. This is a disadvantage. But in this process, the energy source which is used is electricity, and in this process, around 3 to 5 times less energy is required, rather than if we are using electrolysis process for producing the same amount of hydrogen. So, due to less amount of required electricity, this is more beneficial. And also, as I mentioned earlier, that the produced carbon dioxide, it is in the solid form, so it can help in giving the additional revenue, because the produced this carbon, it can be used in different sectors like rubber, tires, printers, and plastics. So these this carbon black can easily use in making such things. And this also the global demand for the carbon black, it is going to increase up to 16 megaton from 12 megaton by next 5 years. So that's why this process can be the future technology, and lots of other development. This technological development is also going on in steam methane reforming process. But in all the process, definitely the used feedstock will be natural gas only. So the changes can be done at this used energy sources level. So we can say that if we are using the solar energy, in form of, we can say this, very high temperature, high levels of solar energy, where the temperature is around 800 to 1000 degrees centigrade. Then the solar energy, it can directly split the water into hydrogen and oxygen. And here even this natural gas will also be not required as a feedstock, and there will be no emission of carbon dioxide. So this technology is really promising technology in point of view of environment also. But this higher solar concentration level technology, this is only at laboratory scale nowadays. So with this, I want to stop the second part of my presentation, and rest of the important production methods I will cover in the part 3. Thank you so much.